I'm so happy to welcome back to the stage Miss Joni Renee.
It was a couple weeks before Christmas, and my friend Diamond calls me. Hey, Joni, listen, my girlfriend and I want to invite you and your girlfriend to this lesbian extravaganza. We're going to have this camping party in the mountains, this Christmas, holiday retreat thing up in the mountains. And do you guys want to come? And she says, it's just going to be us as a couple and you guys. And in the lesbian community, there's this stereotype that's very, very true, which is that, lesbians always break up and get back together and break up and get back together. And no one is really together for that long. So this is the only other couple besides us who actually care about each other, who aren't constantly throwing each other's guitars out the window of the top floor balcony and things like that. They're the only people who've been together for a long time, and we've been together for a long time. And I go, of course, I would love to. That sounds amazing. Wow, the mountains right before Christmas. I've never lived in an Abercrombie ad. Sounds really great. So immediately my mind's jumping to Heidi. I'm going to be Heidi. I'm going to sit on the side of the mountain and I'm going to get this goat out of who knows where. I'm going to be munching on this cheese that we made ourselves, artisanal cheese on the mountainside. And we're just going to have those daisy chains from the fresh daisies, and we'll just be giggling and making love all over the place, and it'll just be the best weekend before Christmas. So, the day finally comes and we throw our stuff in the car, and it's just make sure you have enough Birkenstocks and sleeping bags, blankets and hiking boots and cameras and all these things. And we start going, and it's a really long drive. It's not just that you have to drive from the city to the mountains. It's once you get on the mountain, you have to take all these back roads, those Forest Service roads, and crazy turns. And I feel like we started around 10 in the morning or so, but I feel like it took all day to get there, and you have to keep fueling up again. And we're taking more crazy turns and more back roads, and it's getting more and more remote. And we finally get there in the evening, and it wasn't snowing, but it had just snowed, so there was that really crazy black ice where you can feel my tiny, tiny Toyota slipping all over the road, going crazy, and we were safe. But anyway, so we finally get there, and we get to this cabin. They've rented a tiny, tiny cabin. It is so cute. It's this little Lincoln log kind of thing. It's the size, literally the square footage was about the size of this stage right here. Just this tiny, tiny dollhouse cabin, really tiny. There's just the one room, one tiny, tiny bathroom, and just a set of bunk beds and a little kitchenette with nothing really in it, but just enough room to make vegan pancakes. So we get in, and it's evening, and they got there before us, and they're all set up, and it's a dream. They look so cozy, and they're both really good looking, and they're a great couple, and they've just got these really snuggly sweatpants on, and the fire's going, and the heat's cranked up, and there's all this snow outside, and we have all these great snacks. We love snacking. We've got all this great sparkling water and wine, and the fancy wine, not the $2 Chuck. And I brought all my books, and I'm this is the weekend. This is my pre-Christmas weekend. I'm finally gonna start writing my novella. This is the weekend. So we just it's just good vibes, just right before Christmas, you start getting really sentimental, and all the things that aren't true about your life, you start trying to make them true. And all the things you see in the advertisements, you're I could do that. I could get some mistletoe and make things happy. And here we go. So it's just great vibes, and we go to sleep, and it's just really romantic, and everyone's just snuggling with their partner, and it's just, you feel so great. And we wake up, and overnight it snowed, and the whole world is blanketed in this beautiful snow. I mean, if you've ever seen, most of you in Oregon, you've seen new snow, but it just lights this fire in your belly of this 6-year-old just wants to like scream and go make snow angels and freak out. I mean, it's so beautiful and glistening and fluffy. And I just go, you guys, this is going to be the greatest day ever. So we're going around and we make mimosas for breakfast, and we just feel so fancy that we've rented this adult cabin. Like, you know, I'm like not even old enough to rent a car, but we've rented a cabin. And, you know, we're just sipping on these things, and I'm feeling really inspired. I've got my little tiny notebook, and I think, oh, I'm going to write a poem. I start writing just a little poem, feeling inspired. And then I say, so what do you guys want to do? I mean, we're on this mountainside with this beautiful forest, and we're not even near a town or any kind of other people, really. So, I mean, let's go hiking. So we go out, and we have these little plastic sleds, those little cheap ones that just look like a trash can lid. And we try to go find a place to go sledding, and we hike all over. And it's just, I can't even impress upon you the beauty of this day. Like, we finally get to the top of this, what we decide is the sledding area, which is just really like a really dangerous tree-covered slope. And it's just, you just don't see days like that. I mean, the sky is so blue, not one cloud in the sky, and the trees are so green, and there's just little crazy animal footprints, like the ones that look like this, you know, which is like a bird or something, and then the ones that look like kind of like that, maybe, you know, and then I'm imagining, oh, there's probably elk, you know, which there's probably not, but there's just like crazy footprints and, you know, fresh like tracks from dogs and people who've hiked before, and then because of the new snow, we're like blazing our own trail through this thing, and we're sledding and giggling, and it's so real, and like they're so in love, and I feel in love with my partner already, but just when you feel that happy, you know, you get more in love with the people that you love, and it just feels so free and right and good, and everything is beautiful, and how could anything be wrong? And all those people who told me that, you know, they don't love me anymore because I'm gay, I couldn't even care less. This is my day, and it's almost as if, sure, I came out before, but this was almost like coming out to myself, you know, having that moment of actually accepting yourself and feeling like, wow, I can just have this beautiful, beautiful day. And yeah, it's gay, but it's more than anything, it's just a happy day. It doesn't have to be a gay happy day. And I think, and I can't speak for anyone else's experience but mine, but I know that was part of it is, and people say, oh, so you're gay now? Oh, now you're gay? And you just like woke up one morning and decided this? Like, it was almost as if I were putting the words in my mouth and qualifying everything that I did. You know, now, oh, it's not just a queen size bed. It's a gay queen size bed. So anyway, just this the beauty of this day, you know, and just feeling so fucking right, and nobody's being weird and trying to Facebook the whole time and taking crazy pictures. You can just be happy and you don't have to take a picture of it. That's my point. Okay. So this goes on pretty much all day, and we you know, you get exhausted, and we go back, and we're making this really nice lunch, and we've got this beautiful sandwiches. Oh my God. And, you know, like half the people who are there are semi-professional chefs, and they're just making this amazing food. And then they go out, and we're just making love in the living room, and it's just like really warm. And you know, like winter, you wear all those things that are soft, like snuggly sweaters and warm socks, so you just feel like covered in all this good softness all the whole time. And there's just like this really nice hardwood floor, you know, like not that fake shit, the real hardwood floor. And which is just like, if you just haven't been fucked on one, just try it. And they get back in, and the girlfriend of Diamond, which is, her name is Jenny, she says, God, you guys, this has just been the greatest day, and I would hate for anybody to miss out on this. Do you think it would be okay if my little sister came up? She's like 16, and I just, you know, she could come, or I don't know, come alone, or maybe bring a friend or whatever. I'm like, is that okay? Like, is that going to ruin the vibe? And I'm like, ruin the vibe. We're having the best weekend of our lives. There's nothing that could ruin the vibe. This is great. Like, sure, whatever, bring her. I love you. I'm sure I'll love your little sister. It's going to be great. So, and, you know, it's a really, really long drive. So they arrived shortly afterward, which makes me think they weren't actually asking us if it was okay. You know, like, it's such a long drive that she must have left way before. So she was kind of just doing that thing where you double check right before you do the bad thing. And you're like, well, I'm already doing it. So it's night. And the sister arrives. And what she arrives in and with is 3 SUVs full of frat boys. And this is something that really hurts your heart after a day like that. And I'm not normally one to jump to conclusions or judgments, but I just feel like of all the things that might have killed the vibe, this might kill the vibe. And the sister comes in, and she's sweet. She's a sweet little thing, little blonde girl, 16, doesn't know what the fuck she's doing with her life. And all these big guys, I mean, like, I literally was wondering, like, okay, is this the whole football team? Like, they were such, like, bros and jocks, and just, like, with those, like, muscle t-shirt things with, like, crazy words, like HCO or whatever. And it's not just that, it's not just the personality thing, but what they brought with them. They're all these babies, and they bring massive quantities of, like, tequila and all this alcohol and drugs, like you've never seen drugs before. And next thing you know, they're bursting into the house. And keep in mind, this is the entire house. And they're just like, wow, party on the mountains, yeah! Oh, Rager! And I'm like, no, Rager, no. And I don't know where they found these speakers, but they have these speakers that as big as the stool. Like, what? And they start playing, like, Jay-Z and all the, and, like, music. And it wasn't even like cool 16-year-old music. It was like what was cool in 2004 for 16-year-olds, and just like. And they start playing this music so loud that our cute, tiny, sweet little Heidi's Lincoln Log house starts rattling, and is not like it's gonna fall apart, but like it's just these logs, and they're like, you know, they feel like they're gonna fall apart, and the music is so loud, and like, oh my God, we're in this tiny space. I'm not trying to be old, but I just feel like, can we just turn it down a little bit, please? And Jenny, the older sister, is like, I'm sorry, I don't have a very good handle on my sister, and our parents are never there for us, and I'm pretty much her mom, and I'm sorry, and I don't know how to handle her, and I didn't think it would be like this, and let's just try to have a good night. But as the night goes on, and they were in this rager in this tiny cabin, it's just so hard to have a good night. Everything that we loved has been destroyed and shattered and smashed in front of us. And people are getting so drunk, and they're breaking things that our name is on the lease, you know, and they're like kicking stuff and being crazy. And then, you know, and the drugs, and it's not, yeah, drugs, okay, but it's not just that, but it's like the mixing of the drugs, and they're trading Adderall and Klonopin and all of these crazy, like, real psychotropics. Like, don't mix that with tequila. Even if you do have a prescription, and just like, no, it's fine, I have 3 prescriptions. Like, yeah, but not for this. And they're all trading, and people are just getting so zombied out, like, you know, when you just get so fucked up that you're just like staring at the wall, like picking at your face kind of things. Like, they're doing stuff like that and breaking things, and then somebody's trying to cook something, and then they start a fire in the kitchenette, which is like, the kitchen is only this big. How could you have done that in such a short time? And the music is so loud, and I almost wonder, like, can you call the cops on your own party? And like, are there any cops? Like, we're so far away from everybody else. And you know, and I'm trying to talk to the little sister and just be like, I love you, and I know that your family situation is really hard, and I don't even really care that your friends are here, but I'm just trying to let you know, like, we have this one thing going on, and can we just chill? Like, we can drink, it's fine, but can we just, like, why are those guys chest pumping? So it doesn't work. She's too high. She's gone. She's gone. She's not there. She can't control her friends, and her friends are gone. And they're just mentally totally checked out. Nobody. How can you be responsible for a group that large? And I'm trying to go around and kind of reason. You can try to reason with one person one at a time, but if they're just like, oh, like, what are you gonna do for them? So it gets to the point where we're just so exhausted, and I don't know what to do, and I really want to go to sleep, but it would basically be like lying down a sleeping bag right here when there's like a 40,000 person concert right here. It's just not feasible. So and my girlfriend is just getting increasingly frustrated, and she's just really, and she has, we both have a pretty quick temper, and she's not cool with this. And we don't know what else to do. So interestingly, we decide we're going to hide in the bathroom, which is funny. I didn't know that was similar to the other guy's story until we told our stories. But I guess that's a human instinct. Hide in the bathroom. So the bathroom, just to reiterate, is about, one of these squares, the size of one of these squares. And it's so tiny that actually if you sit on the toilet and then you go to stand up, your knees will knock against the sink. So everything, it just goes toilet, sink, shower, right there, right next to each other. And the music is so loud and everything is horrible. And I just think, what's happening to our beautiful weekend? And I'm looking back to this day on sledding on the mountains and feeling so true and finally coming to terms with everything. And it's okay, and just love yourself and have fun and be in love, and that's okay. And now this, and I take a peek from our little refuge, and I look out, and the little sister is on the floor, and she's straight, but she's so far gone that she's taken one of her friends, and they're having sex naked in front of everyone, and the music is so loud, and the lights are, somebody's doing some fucking light show, and everyone and the frat boys are standing around them, egging them on, like in one of those like sick homemade porns, but they're actually slaves. It felt like that. Like they were making, yeah, okay, they're having sex, but they're trying to make out, but they're kind of missing each other's mouths. And then she's trying to like grab her pussy, but she keeps like grabbing the wrong thing. and it's just this awkward, horrible sex scene, and everyone is cheering them on and being like, yeah, sexy, take it off. And this image, and if maybe, and is that what it looks like? Like, is that what they want? And I just wanted to be like, is this what you guys want? And I can't, I'm horrified. And as I'm watching, one of the younger sister throws up on her sexual partner. The other girl, they're so drunk that they actually are at this point throwing up on each other. And I slam the bathroom door, and I look at my girlfriend and I go, we're just gonna have to spend the night in here. We're snowed in. What are we gonna do? We can't leave. Like, it's really icy during the day, but it's really icy at night. And our baby, tiny 12-pound Japanese car is not going down the mountain at 2 a.m. And all of a sudden, this tiny, sweet little cabin has become like this death trap horror cabin. Terrible, terrible vomit cabin. Like, where you're just like trapped in the bathroom. And I started thinking of like all those horror movies, and oh my God, like, this is really bad, and they're getting really violent, and like, are they gonna do that to us? And just feeling really trapped. And as I start looking around and thinking about, God, this bathroom is really small. Really small. I mean, and the angles and everything, and that's weird. And I realize it's been converted into a bathroom from a closet. So my girlfriend and I are trapped in a closet. Wow. Fuck you, God. The irony. So we've been forced into this closet. Okay, interesting. So we spend most of the night there, and we don't sleep. And eventually most people either pass out and die or pass out and are next to dead for the next couple days. And as soon as, we don't really sleep. And as soon as morning light comes, we're just like, fucking, let's get out of here. And we're tiptoeing over all these crazy bodies at all these crazy angles, and everything's a mess. And I'm just thinking, the lease agreement, the deposit. And we get our stuff and we just go home. And it's been 3 years now since I came out. And I look back on this whole experience, this weekend, this retreat, and this is what I see. You have on this hand, you have the girls on the mountain. This is lesbian, this is gay, this is people who love each other so much that you don't even really need the word. You're just people. You're just happy and free and having this amazing time. These are girls who are in love and young and beautiful, and they are happy and being themselves. These are girls who don't need Instagram to remember how blue the blue is on a perfect day. And on the other hand, you have this is a drug-induced lesbianism. This is a vomit-covered lesbianism. This is 2 girls, 1 cup. And what I want to know is, when I meet somebody new, and I tell them, hi, my name is Joni, I just want to know, do they see this? Or do they see that?